4th down, the final play.
Here we are.
Unless they can stick it in the end zone. Dorsey under pressure, throws it. Incomplete. The Buckeyes win.
Ezekiel Elliott, and he's got an opening. Elliott off to the races. Can they catch him?
Feature the two backs as receivers, and now a downfield shot on first down for the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State strikes first. Making the judgments again, and there is Smith running free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly from 45 yards. Pressure comes. Saul, knock it out, and picks it up. Jack Saul coming down the sidelines. Ohio State scoop and score and dagger from 82 yards.
Here they come.
Heavy pressure. Howard delivers downfield. And Smith, he's got it. Jeremiah Smith. 2025 college football national champion, Coach Ryan Day, and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Welcome in, Buckeye backers. We are bringing it to you live from Seattle, Washington, to the cornfields of Enid, Ohio. We are the pulse of Buckeye fans across the nation, with Seattle Matt and Buckeye Steve. What is up, Buckeye backers? We got another show for you. I'm going here live from Seattle. Alex Bryan's joining me from back in Ohio. Alex, what's up, man? You ready for this Washington game to take place?
You know, before every show, the intro says from Seattle, Washington to the cornfields in Ohio, and now it finally is like that because you're in Washington, I'm in Ohio, so we're coast to coast right now, baby. Let's go.
Hey, and Wednesday shows are not, but Sunday morning, the morning after show is always Seattle to Ohio. But
there we go.
I'm usually in Ohio, and Seattle Matt is in Seattle.
Very true.
Me and Seattle will be getting together for a little festivities on Friday, and then going to the game on Saturday. Probably going to go on a boat and do a little bit of sailgating. So
there you go.
That's in store too. So we should have some good pictures from that.
Yeah, I'm ready for this game, man. I'm hearing a lot of chirping, not just from the Washington fan base, but from the casual Ohio State haters that we're on the high upset alert this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about all that. It's not a game I'm overlooking by any means, but high upset alert, maybe like a little mild.
Billy Tuesday in the locker room says, "Evening, gentlemen, go Bucks." Absolutely.
Bucks.
We'll give you an OH and see what kind of IO we can get in this locker room. Let's go.
Amen.
Best OSU play of all time, right there with the 2002 kitchen sink and the 2024 strip sack. Man, we're getting some off the wall stuff to start, but thank you, Dennis. I would agree with you. That sack in 2002 was off the charts awesome, and I was there for it. It was a pleasure to be there, and I had a great time watching that one. Man, there is some up there. I think in terms of significance of the game, those two, and what you get with the prize of winning, I think those two are right up there with the best of the best. I guess you'd have to do the third and Jeremiah because that was in a national title game too. So the strip sack's iconic. That third and Jeremiah was more meaningful. So I'm just going to throw that one in there with you.
Yeah, we're pretty blessed. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of great plays, prior to either of us being born that you could probably say are up there in Ohio State history. But I would venture to argue that pretty much every great play, at least top 20 in Ohio State history, probably has all happened since the year 2000. We've witnessed it.
I'm going to add another one in there now that I'm thinking of it. It was the reverse toss to Michael Thomas in the end zone in the Sugar Bowl against Alabama.
Yes.
That and obviously, the 85 yards through the heart of the South against Alabama also for Urban Meyer's national title. If we're throwing out best plays of national title runs, those two are in it for me.
Easily.
So, but let's get back to Washington. All right. I'm here. I want to talk about it. If this game were in Columbus, I wouldn't have any worries. I would say we're going to win this game. No worries, none at all. But it's a little different going on the road, flying all the way to. It's almost as far as you can go. I bet the flight to LA is a little further, but traveling on the road, number one, traveling on the road with a new starting quarterback, number two, and you got a lot of guys that just really haven't been in an environment like this, right? At least as starters. So there's that. It sounds like from the interviews that they had today and yesterday, Ryan Day is doing a great job pumping the volume up on the speakers so they can't hear anything at practice. They're prepared for it. I think it was Jeremiah Smith that talked about it, saying that, it was Sonny Styles that talked about it today, saying that they can't hear, the offense can't hear. They're prepared for it. So their signals are going to be sharp, or at least they should be sharp. And it sounded like Ryan Day was excited to get out here. He's like, man, seeing all these stadiums in the Big Ten and being part of those venues, it's really cool because, in ordinary circumstances, that would have to be, an out-of-conference game. Now it's in conference, and you're going all the way to Seattle to see what some West Coast, Pacific Northwest football is all about. I got a taste of it last year.
Yeah, this is definitely quite the first road game for a young career in Julian Sayin. Obviously, could it be tougher? Sure. You could have your first road game at Happy Valley at night. That would be pretty rough. Or some of those SEC stadiums down there like Death Valley and all that stuff. But we heard before, almost 20 years ago now, the last time we played at Washington. Oh, look at that beautiful view.
I was trying to get you.
Isn't that great, chat?
There we go.
The Pacific Ocean looking real nice right there.
There we go. Puget Sound.
But obviously, almost 20 years ago now was the last time we played at Washington. And we heard a lot back then, Ohio State's not going to be ready for this. Jake Locker, he's gonna show Ohio State what's what. And then we went in there and got a win. We also heard a little chatter when we played them in the Rose Bowl, that this team's gonna get Ohio State. They're gonna send Urban out on a loss. And the score was close in the end, but realistically that game never felt like it was in jeopardy at all, really, to me. So, and obviously these are two different teams than 2018 Rose Bowl and 2007, but it's still Julian Sayin's going to have a test on his hands. And obviously we learned some things in this last game against Ohio that we need to work on. Had a couple weeks now. Washington just had to go play Washington State, beat the brakes off of them. And we get a really good test. I mean, this is going to show me a lot in terms of how can we contain a mobile quarterback, because we're going to need that come that last game in November, right?
Yes.
And you were mentioning it before we started that Damon Williams Jr. leads college football as a rusher for being a quarterback, something like that, right?
For quarterback rushing, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So what better test than to go against the best running quarterback in college football and see what you can do against it? I expect a lot of spying by our defense the entire game, trying to contain him as much as possible, force him to pass the ball, keep him in the pocket, and see what we can do.
Yeah. And that's the big thing about it. I think you really, really got to be able to contain. You got to stay in your lanes. And we talked about it last week with Parker. We really needed to keep him from running because he was a slippery quarterback.
Yeah.
And Parker Navarro was pretty much shut down. All right.
Yeah.
They did a great job. I do think Williams is a step up,
Yeah.
You got to give him a little notch. I saw a couple plays that really reminded me a little bit of Braxton Miller. I got a lot of crap for putting it online, but some of those plays, it was just like, that was where my mind went. I was like, this guy's dynamic running the ball. Now, none of those plays were against a defense anywhere near the Ohio State level, and They don't have Matt Patricia scheming for them. So that's the difference. And Billy, let me get back to this before we get going. Got to get you in the locker room. Billy used to live in Port Townsend. I was just there actually doing some whale watching. So got to see some orcas and a humpback whale today. It was an excellent trip and worth every minute of it. I think it was Puget Sound Express. I have to check that for sure. But something like that, if you get the chance to do it, it's worth the money. Those guys were awesome.
To answer your question earlier, Husky Stadium is about 200 miles farther from Columbus than
really
the LA Coliseum.
Wow.
Yep.
That's
a couple hour longer flight.
Okay. Interesting.
Or
I wouldn't
drive,
have thought that.
Yeah.
Drive.
Yep. It's a couple hour longer drive from Ohio Stadium to Husky Stadium than Ohio Stadium.
Well, how many miles? Did you keep track of that?
Hold up. I can do the math.
Because it might just be better roads there. Because if you're going through Montana, Idaho, and over mountain passes, that might be a little harder. And I apologize if the volume or the internet's bad because I'm here. I got what I got.
He's up in the boonies. Up in the boonies in Seattle. Let's see here. Ohio Stadium.
And then we'll talk about Bo Jackson. It'll be the game changer on Saturday. You know what?
That's a great point.
This passing defense is 62nd in the nation. So I don't want Bo Jackson to be a factor until after we have several attempts to these wideouts. This is a game where Ohio State has to pass to open up the run. It should feel a lot like the Tennessee and the Oregon games of the playoffs last year. Get the ball out to your dynamic wide receivers. Let them eat, all right? Steal that puppy chow. Grab it. Take it from them dogs. Make them starve. And then you pound it down their throat with Bo Jackson.
Amen. Amen to that.
That's how you win the game, all right? This is a pass-first game. And I just hope Day has that in his mind, and I hope Brian Hartline has that in his mind, because it's an easy thing to go on the road and be like, you know what, that first drive, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to get them used to it. I'm going to let them run the ball. I'm going to throw short little passes just to make sure they got the nerves out. If you wait and give them that possession or two, the crowd is going to be a huge factor, You go back to, I think it was 1992 against Nebraska. That was the loudest stadium noise ever recorded in the history of football. Washington Huskies Stadium. This place can get loud. They've been down for several years, right? 1990, I think, was their national title. Then they had last year's run, or 2 years ago, they had their run. And they're just kind of creeping back. I do think Jed Fish is going to have them in the right direction. And I think they have the pieces there. Like, listen to these stats. I mean, right now on the offense, you talked about it earlier, right? Williams, he is the number one rushing quarterback in the nation. You have the number one scoring, the number two scoring offense in the nation. You also have the number one scoring rusher in Jonah Coleman, right? So he scored the most points running the ball. Right? They're averaging 55.7 points per game. We do have to take a look at who they've been doing against, right?
Yeah.
Because it has been a bunch of nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start first with who did they play for? Was it Colorado State?
Colorado State. Yep.
So they played Colorado State first. Colorado State's not a good team, right? By any means.
Right. One and two right now.
Colorado State's 1-2.
And their only win was against Northern Colorado, and they only won by 4.
And Northern Colorado.
That's like an FCS team.
FCS?
Yep. That's Northern an FCS Colorado team.
All right. And weren't they down by 7 going into the fourth quarter?
I think so.
I think it was 21-14.
They also lost to UTSA by 1. So Yeah,
So
not the greatest team right there for sure.
this defense has given up some points.
Yeah.
Our offense should score at will.
And think about this too. You mentioned what their passing defense is ranked 62, I believe, right?
62nd in the nation.
They've let up
Against wide receiver you.
They've let up almost 200 yards through the air per game against teams like Colorado State, UC Davis, and Washington State.
Yeah, what is the best wide receiving core in the nation going to do to him?
Yeah, what should they do to him? Yeah, we should be able to pass at will on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And
and if you look back at Colorado State, all right, 38-21. Colorado State should not be scoring 21 points on any major Power 4 team.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not that good.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they haven't played. Washington hasn't played anyone, but Colorado State has played even less of a schedule.
Yeah, and by the way, right now, Ohio State is first in scoring defense at 5.3 a game. That would, if the season ended today and that stood, that would be the greatest defense of all time. I would have to look at who's got the best or the lowest points per game given up, but I think it's like Georgia at like 8 something.
When was that? Do you think?
What, the Georgia?
Like recently? Georgia?
Yeah,
was that in 2022?
I think it was 2021.
2021.
Greatest.
I'll look that up real quick. Yeah. I got it right here. I got college football stats, and this is a great place to get some information, though. So I'll look up scoring defenses.
And that's with Texas on there, which I mean.
2022 or 2021? Georgia was giving up. 2022, they were giving up 14.3. 2021, it was 10.2.
Yeah, I think that's either the best or it's second best.
I thought, wow. Yeah. Michigan was 10.4.
Yeah,
2023.
They were pretty good.
They didn't play a whole lot either.
Cheated half the year, but you know.
My neighbor was the biggest pain in the butt Huskies fan, Billy Tuesday. I mean, from what I hear, a lot of Husky fans are really fair weather fans. They're going to show up and show out if they're a good team. But you beat the brakes off of them, they're going to get out of that stadium early. They're going to leave. They're not going to stand around and watch that. And I think that's why we have to open up taking shots downfield. Like, you know this team gives up a lot of points.
Yeah.
And you know that their pass defense is terrible. Everyone on this team knows that. Everyone. They have to. Take some shots downfield to start the game. Do not run the ball and let that crowd be a factor.
Right.
All right. If you run the ball, you better be damn sure you're getting first downs on that first possession.
Mm-hmm.
Because things that could happen. Let's say Washington gets the ball first, and their offense is just good enough to score the first possession. That stadium's going to be on fire. And then if we run the ball 3 times or 2 times and get shut out, and someone just happens to drop a pass on third down, that place is going to be so electric the rest of the game. And you got to fight back against that electricity. That's the scary part of this game, because football is very emotional. We've said it before. We'll say it again. This is a very emotional sport with 18 to 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds, maybe. Very emotional. Like, it's a headsy game. You need to win that emotional component from the get-go, especially in a hostile environment on the road. And that's the scary part. That's the only scary thing in this game. Matchup-wise, I think this is a matchup nightmare. Absolute nightmare for the Huskies. This is, if they're a great team, maybe they are a great team, but they don't match up well against Ohio State. Think about their best components of what they got. Their best component is offense. Our best component is probably defense. Their worst component is passing defense. That's our best part of our offense.
Yep. We have a chance.
Absolutely matchup nightmare for them.
Yeah, we have a chance to expose a lot of their weaknesses. And I agree with Owen. I think this is the game. Right now, if you look at Washington's rush defense, they're what does it say they are? They're 9th in the country at 62.7 yards allowed per game on the ground. But again, who have they played? So I think this is a real good chance for Bo Jackson to. I mean, he's already started to make a name for himself. I think this is where he hits out of the park and starts to really let people know, like, I've arrived.
Yeah.
And that's on top of the passing game that we should. I mean, Julian's saying in realisticness here, he should have easily over 300 yards.
I mean, he should have 400. Really.
Yeah, two, three tutties minimum. Like, I mean, this should be a good day for him, given how weak the secondary seems to be for Washington. But obviously, the nerves are going to be there. We'll see if he makes mistakes, if he rebounds from them well. And I mean, so far he's done an excellent job. I mean, we talked about those interceptions he threw last game. The one was tip drill. What can you do about that? It got batted, tough luck there. But that second one, that can't happen again. And in a game like this, a turnover of that type of magnitude couldn't end up, turning the game the other way. So just want to see him make smarter decisions. Hopefully in the last couple of weeks, they've worked on his reads and making sure he gets it to that open guy. We've seen him miss that open guy a handful of times already in 3 games. And I think if they've worked on those things and got them ironed out, along with that red zone offense, of course, because we're definitely going to need that this game, I have a feeling, especially if their rush defense is as good as advertised. I think we'll be all right. You muted yourself.
Yeah. There's a lot of going on in the background. I'm right by the airport, so there's a lot of noise there. Streetcars doing it. So I appreciate that. I'm probably going to do that again at least once or twice. So,
I got you.
Going back to what Owen said, Owen Tyler said he thought Bo Jackson was going to have himself a game. I'm fine with that. As long as that game is after our passing offense has scored a couple touchdowns, and then you broke the will. You broke the will of this defense, and you're like, you know what? Time to run the ball and go home with this W.
Yep.
Ryan Day's under the same approach. This is just a game that we just need to win. I don't care what it looks like. Just come out with more points and let's go home.
Yep.
I can see this. I don't know what's happening with the Vegas line, though. Like, it was 14 and a half.
Where's it at now?
It dropped to 5.5. I haven't checked it. Or sorry, not 5.5, 8.5. And I haven't checked it since then. I'll check.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to see Ohio State lose, so they think this is a good opportunity for that to happen.
That's not usually what happens because the Ohio State fan base is large and they put the money on it. Some people were like really hoping in that it went down to a touchdown and then they're going to take it. Another point. There were some places you could get it for 8.
Seems like right now Ohio State's favored by 9.5. Over unders 51.5.
Where are you at looking for that?
What source? GPT popped it up.
Okay.
So that basically searches the internet for everything. 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago it was that. It could be different now. Let me bring up FanDuel.
It opened up at 14.5.
Yeah, which I thought was probably right on where it should be. But
I always go to Vegas Insider because it has multiple choices. But while you're looking that up, I'm going to get to AZ Buckeyes. Little comment here. Washington State, because we didn't get to that game yet. We didn't want to talk about UC Davis because it really doesn't matter. FCS school, and can't take a whole lot from that. But they beat them pretty handedly. They did score 10 points against Washington, so there's that. We didn't let our FCS opponent score any points, which you mentioned before. We don't know how that feels.
Yeah, I don't.
Washington versus Washington State. Okay, it was 31-24 with 12 minutes left in the fourth. No way in hell this Washington team can play with a 4-waiter game with this Ohio State defense. I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah, anyway, it's down to 8.5.
Yeah. So. They don't stand a chance. This should be a game where we blow them away. Absolutely and completely. Doug Shepard's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you in the locker room, brother.
Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down for me to how our defense contains Demond Williams.
4-quarter game. Why didn't I know that?
I think if our defense has him in hell, like they did Arch Manning, like they did Parker Navarro, stuff like that,
has him guessing.
I think it's going to be a relatively simple day because obviously Texas's defense is a lot better than Washington's defense is, and will continue to be for the rest of the season. So Ohio State's going to have a lot more freedom to do things offensively against this defense than they did against Texas. So it should be a game where we hit at least the low 30s pretty simply, as long as we play our game. And then I don't know if Washington, even as good as their offense has been, I don't know. They haven't played a defense close to ours, so I don't know if they're going to be able to hit 30 at all. They might hit 20. At the end of the day, this is going to be the first opponent that hits over double digits on us. We haven't had that happen yet. Ohio would have if they didn't miss a PAT, but this is going to be the first. And if somehow we hold them under 10, I'm going to be like, oh damn, okay,
watch out.
Oh boy, I'm going to start question myself, who the hell's going to score over 10 on us? Who's going to be the first? Like,
yeah,
I would say Illinois, but I just watched them get the break speed off them by Indiana. Hello, Indiana. You didn't go anywhere like I thought you would. Jesus. And honestly, Indiana's still got to play Oregon and Penn State. Those games just got real interesting after what they.
Oh yeah, they did. Where's Indiana got Oregon and Penn State at? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, but I'll get it for you here. Hold up.
So yeah, Doug Shepard in the locker room saying he agrees with AZ Buck. In a 4-quarter game, I agree with you. My biggest concern is that start of the game. The start of the game is key to me.
They're on the road for both of those.
What's that? They're on the road for both?
Yep. That'll be tough. But honestly, I mean, against an Illinois defense that we were like, this is a really great defense. Boy, Indiana they could have been taking a nap and did what? Oh man, it was effortless for them against Illinois. I was blown away. So
Doug's making some good points in the locker room. This Washington team has better skill position players than Texas.
Like why
they use them well.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think they have as many.
Yeah,
but the ones that they have are legit. 6'4", Denzel Boston, no relation to the Boston.
David Boston, baby.
The Boston. No relation to him, but plays a lot like him. He's going to go up and get a ball. If you throw it up in the air, he's going to be able to go get it. But the good thing about it is our DBs are probably the best DB room in the nation. They don't have respect like that nationally yet, but Buckeye fans know. We got lockdown corners on both sides and the best player on the defensive side of the ball in college football.
Yep. And Lorenzo Styles is good to go for this game, I saw. So he'll be playing. Hopefully he worked on his tackling a little bit and coverage skills after that one let up against Ohio, but
yeah, he's just got to make sure he gets the guy down.
Yeah.
There's going to be times when any DB is going to get toasted.
He's been great the rest of the time.
So. He's been hitting hard. He's been playing hard. I love it. The quarterback for Washington is fast, and he has a good arm. Yeah, he's fast. He's not real good at reading, but he really improved how he was passing last week. As far as completion percentage, his completion percentage is actually pretty good. Nationally, if you look at the top-rated quarterbacks, the Big Ten is standing out and standing out well.
They have some of the best quarterbacks in the country, like top to bottom. It's nuts how deep the quarterbacks are in the conference right now. Probably the deepest I've maybe ever seen it. I don't think that's far-fetched to say. But Doug, that's a great point. But I'll also counter. Matt Patricia, like we've mentioned before, he had a scheme against the Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's, or not Tom Brady's, but the Peyton Mannings, Drew Breeses, and Aaron Rodgerses of the world. I mean, this is like This is chump change. This is chump change for him. I mean, look what he did to Arch Manning. He had that bro in hell all game. And people can look at Arch Manning in the games after that where he struggled and say, oh, well, it wasn't so much Ohio State. It was absolutely Ohio State's defense. They were disguising looks. They were getting pressure on him. They were making him so uncomfortable for 4 quarters. They're lucky they scored, honestly. Texas is fortunate they even got points on the board by the end of the day, because that's how good Matt Patricia had the defense going. And once again, saw Caleb Downs had so many positive things to say about Matt Patricia. You know, as good as Jim Knowles was by year 3, I can't recall any point in time where any player was like drooling and oogling and ogling over Jim Knowles. But we got Caleb Downs and a numerous amount of other players just praising Matt Patricia for what he's done. So I'm not concerned at all when it comes to that. Just keep a spy on him at all times, because he's going to run it. Make sure you contain the edges and force him to pass, because I think if we force him to pass, we're going to make him make a lot of mistakes.
So we're going to get back to the Big Ten and quarterbacks. So if you go by completion percentage, the Big Ten has the top 4 and 5 of the top 6 quarterbacks in the nation for completion percentage. They are number 1, Julian Sang, number 2, Fernando Mendoza from Indiana, who we just talked about, number 3, Dylan Raiola, and number 4, Dante Moore out of Oregon. Jump down to 6, passing Diego Pavia from Vanderbilt at 5, Damon Williams Jr.
Where's Bryce Underwood at?
Bryce Underwood is off the charts.
Oh, I was told he's the second coming of Jesus. Shouldn't he be number 1 on that list?
Hey, man, if you want to listen to a stud 7-0 against Michigan coach talk about him, he'll tell you he's good, man. He sees
I know,
Urban Meyer knows
but
talent.
I know
he's not on that list now, but
I'll counter that. I'll counter that by saying Urban Meyer is also a psych major, and he might just be putting that stuff out there to get their fan base believing a little more. Get Bryce Underwood to take the
sprinkling
snake
on
venom,
a little bit,
the snake venom, believe in himself a little more, and then all of a sudden, just allow Ohio State to come in and wreck them.
He's pulling that'd be great. Rat poison.
Yep, Urban Meyer's he'll get in your brain, man, and he'll do whatever he wants with it. That's how he operated. That's how he still operates.
I don't think that's how. I mean, he was being an analyst. An announcer.
He probably means what he says about him, for sure.
Providing his analysis for, I think it was Big Noon Kickoff when he said that. But yeah, dude, I think he's good, and I think he's going to be. He's just raw. You know what I mean?
I'll say this. As great as he will be for them, and I'm sure he'll probably be one of the best quarterbacks they've ever had, even though that's
none of those other quarterbacks were.
That's not a high bar for them. I mean, they've never had a quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards. They're literally the Chicago Bears of college football. They really are.
We don't need to talk about Michigan anymore. Turn that M upside down. Let's get back to Washington, baby.
But hold up. I'll say this.
All right. If talk more Michigan. You talked me into it.
If he stayed at LSU, he'd be a Heisman winner by the end of his career. But because he's there, he will always never reach his potential.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe. I mean, they're not developing quarterbacks as of late. I mean,
they'll argue J.J. McCarthy, but
I mean, you have to talk about Tom Brady when you're talking about Michigan quarterbacks.
The NFL developed him.
Yeah,
the NFL developed him. That's all Bill.
He got out the right team, and he did what he did. So got to give credit where credit is due. He did it. I don't know if that came from Michigan. I wasn't paying attention to how he developed at Michigan, but he did give them credit when he was talking about it in the past.
They booed him off the field for the other quarterback multiple times because they didn't want him starting and didn't claim him until he won his first Super Bowl. Don't let them fool you.
There were a lot of people talking crap about C.J. Stroud
They still
his
are.
first couple games.
They still are.
Yeah.
He'll be all right. I'm not worried about CJ. He'll be all right.
Well, I just meant Ohio State fans. You know, you come out against Minnesota, you look like crap. You come out and lose to Oregon, which got me thinking if Miami and Ohio State made it into the national title game, all the storylines would be Mario Cristobal's 1-0 against Ryan Day. Undefeated.
Well, we all know what the real storylines would be. Can Miami get revenge from 20-some years ago?
That's true.
Was it pass interference? Blah, 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 blah,
blah. Oh, man. How many times would that be played?
If we played them, we would beat them by 14. They wouldn't need an overtime to cry about this time. It would end in regulation just like that one should have, if instant replay existed back then. So, Miami. They'll fall off a cliff just like last year.
Okay, so who's going to be the player of the game for Ohio State? In a win, obviously.
Offense or defense or both?
Let's do offense and defense.
Offensively, give me Carnell Tate. I think he's going to have a chance to really pop off this game as well, along with Bo Jackson. I think Bo Jackson will get over 100 yards and really expose the Washington defense. But, we're going to do a lot in the passing game, and I feel like Carnell Tate, this is going to be a bigger game for him. I honestly hope it's Brandon Ennis. I need to see him pop out.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because Carnell and Jeremiah have already done a lot this season. I need Brandon Ennis to join the party, but I'm gonna go Carnell Tate. And then defensive wise, give me Arvell Reese. It's either going to be him or Sonny if they're smart that play the QB spiral. And I think I got a feeling it's going to be Arvell Reese just because he's faster. And I think he's gonna headhunt. Do
you think it's possible to be Caleb Downs because he is so fast that he'll be the spy more?
It could be. I think they'll rotate it. Honestly, they can do so much because we have so much talent that can do different things well, and they all complement each other really well. So yeah, they could use him as well.
Doug, you read my mind. Damn it, Doug, you beat me to it. I didn't even have time to say it, but Julian saying just because of the 62nd ranked pass defense, I think saying we'll have a field day. He might come out a little bit jittery from the crowd because he's never been there in a hostile environment. Yeah. He's never traveled for 5 hours on a plane to play a football game. And I know he's traveled from California to Ohio State. Obviously, he's done that. But it's different when you're getting ready for a game. All right. The good thing is he's used to those noon games. And out here, it's going to be a noon game. I know it's 3:30 for you on the East Coast. But here, it's noon. So you get up, you get going. He's been established with that.
Same thing with Texas, like we said. Gets it out of the way.
Don't have to think. You just get up and go. Play ball. Let's do it.
Yep.
And it seemed to work out against Texas, so I think it's going to work out here, and I think Sang's going to have an absolute field day with this defensive backfield that really hasn't shown much against cream puffs. Absolute cream puffs. Washington State's a terrible team. Absolutely terrible. It's a rivalry game. And, Washington dodged them, so there's that added component that they're probably playing harder than they've ever played and will all season. So you have to give a little bit of credit for that.
We always get every team's best.
Ohio State's going to get – and they're even selling shirts, for in their team shop. And they don't do that. They don't do that on normal games. This is the Super Bowl for Washington and Washington fans.
Yeah. This is a program-altering game if they
absolutely you win this. Woo.
Yeah.
You're back.
That's a huge game.
Jed Fish has got you back. Defensively, will it be Caleb Downs? I hope not. And here's why.
I agree.
Because if it's Caleb Downs with a running quarterback like that, that means he's making tackles mostly either out in the flats or downfield. So I'm hoping it's Arvell Reese or K-Mac.
Oh, if it's K-Mac, we're having a good
That
day.
wouldn't that be fun to watch? If
We're
K-Mac
having
has a game,
we're
like
having a good day. If it's K or any of those defensive linemen, we're having a good day. Yeah, if it's Arvell Reese, that's a good day too. That's a great day, honestly.
I think him being the spy, if he is locking down this dynamic quarterback, I don't think you're going to see him do much passing the ball. I honestly don't. I think his completion percentage is really just because of the teams he's played. I don't think that he's a really good passing quarterback. I think he's a off the charts good running quarterback. I mean, dude has moves. If you go back and look at some of the things, just go type in some highlights. If you need to Google it, do it, because it's worth it. Like, some of his runs are just like, whoa, he should have been tackled 3 times and now he's running for a touchdown.
Right. I'm looking at his stats from last year. Obviously, he didn't play the entire season. So he played in 13 games. He went 82 for 105, 78.1 completion percentage for 944 yards passing, 8
Wait,
tutties,
what was his completion percentage?
78.1, but he only threw 105 passes.
78. That's a great completion percentage.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns, 1 pick. Let me look at what games he actually played in here last year.
Yeah, it's probably mostly a mop-up duty, but still.
Basically,
I mean, 78% is good against air.
He was 2 for 2 against the team up north for 44 yards. Against Iowa, he went 12 for 16, 71 yards and a touchdown. Played Louisville in that bowl game, and that was like obviously one of his biggest games. They ended up losing by 1, but he went 26 for 32. So 81.3% completion, 374 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. So that's the only time he threw a pick was in that bowl game.
Yeah. What was he in the bowl game? Say that again.
26 for 32 for 374 yards. So he got over a third of his yards in the bowl game. Against Oregon, he didn't play bad, but they ended up losing by 28 points. So 17-20, 201 yards and a touchdown. So I mean, he's a lot like Sane in the fact that, he seems to be pretty accurate with the ball. But he also hasn't faced a defense that can really make him make mistakes.
Yeah. He can make you miss in a phone booth, like Doug said.
Yes.
He's shifty. He can change directions real quick.
That's why you got to keep him in the pocket, force him to throw, make him make mistakes. Against his worst completion percentage game this season is against UC Davis for 64%. But he's run the ball pretty well in every game. He hasn't been held to under 64 yards rushing in any game so far. So that's got to be Ohio State's biggest thing. Keep them under 60 yards rushing. Really limited in that aspect and force them to go throw and make plays. And hopefully our DBs come to play.
He does do a lot of quick RPO, quick reads, and gets the ball out pretty quick. So that can help. It's more like a run almost, because you're just getting the ball out, real quick read, bam, get the wide receiver the ball. 4.3 speed.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be real interested to see what combination of man and zone that Patricia ends up doing.
I really want to see how he's spying him.
Yeah, I'm interested to see that too. I think you're going to see that a lot.
Because I think we have the DBs to not worry about their wide receivers.
Yeah.
So you could almost do like 2-level spying. Like you could have Arvell Reese do it at the first level and Caleb Downs do it on the wide sides.
I would almost honestly be more worried about this game if Knowles was still our DC. I honestly would. I don't
think you're going to see any sacks, or not very many.
I hope we get at least a couple, because like we said,
I don't think you'll see many.
Again,
I think that's a bad thing if you see sacks.
Against
That means we're getting
Grambling
out of our
State.
rushing lanes.
Well, if we get sacks, that means we're getting them behind schedule, which is great for us.
No, yeah, you're right. But if
yeah.
we're coming after him and a running quarterback like that, that means he's going to get free a few times.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna blitz like hell. I honestly don't. I think we're gonna contain the edge a good amount and just make sure we got the spy ready in case he tries to bolt up the gut. But I'd like to see at least a couple sacks rattle him a little bit. Maybe get a strip sack, hopefully, something along those lines. But I just want to see Arvell Reese headhunt because I know if he gets a chance
a little bit, unless there's something else you want to talk about with the game real quick, because we're going to get Cody Croy in here, and we're going to talk a little bit about Buckeyes at the high school level and Buckeyes in the big leagues in the NFL. Cody, welcome to the show, buddy.
How you guys doing?
Wait,
doing good.
First of all, we're not going to go to any of this stuff. We got to talk about your interview with Tressel, man. Tell us how he was. You talked about how personable he was and how down to earth and just an absolute class act, as always.
Absolutely. I mean, he came to my middle school to talk about his fitness challenge as lieutenant governor. So we talked a lot about, his role and how it relates to being a coach, being in a leadership position.
Mm-hmm.
Just very personable, very nice guy. Great experience, really good experience. And I'm really glad.
Is there anything that he said that like really stuck out to you? Like any direct quote or, and if you have to go back and look, or anything in particular, if you want to paraphrase him, that you were like, man, this guy.
What I thought was
different.
really cool is he talked about the numbers. I think he said there's around 83,000 people that across Ohio that are participating in this event that he's doing. So
yeah,
clearly successful.
For sure. That sounds awesome.
That's so crazy because all Wolverine fans tell me is how much of a piece of crap he is, what a cheater he is. Real ironic coming from their fan base, right?
One of the nicest guys that I've ever met.
I keep telling, I'm like, all he did was, the only thing he was ever guilty of was loving his players.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. 100%.
One of the greatest people you ever meet. I echo Cody's sentiment there. I've met him multiple times. Just such a great guy. I love having him as a lieutenant governor. It makes me feel safer in Ohio. I wish he was running for governor. He shot that down the other day.
Yeah.
But, he's always a senator, man. Always the vest. Love that guy.
Absolutely.
Love him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He had a zip up vest on, didn't he, when you interviewed him?
Did, yes.
Yeah. Still had the vest, though.
He wears that. He wears that classic vest every once in a while. He usually has Ohio State, Youngstown State on it these days.
I saw he was at another school and he was wearing the exact same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. Dude, he is, he's always going to be a legend in Buckeye lore. Got us back in the national spotlight again and got us back even, or at least getting us back to the right levels, beating that team up north consistently over and over again.
He was before my time, but I hear so many good stories just about not only how good of a coach he was, but how good of a man he was, or is.
In 316 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Man, I think it was 316. I don't remember exactly.
It was 300 something.
314 it may have been.
Yeah.
But, he was talking at the basketball game, and that was the most iconic thing in the world, because he didn't say you're going to, we're going to win. He said you'll be proud
of our young men.
Of our young men in the classroom. And where else? Off the field, in the classroom. And most assuredly, in 316 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the place erupted, man. Awesome.
And he backed it up.
Yeah. And then
that was the most important thing.
For damn sure, we were proud.
That quote falls on deaf ears if he starts out 1-4 against them like our current coach.
Right.
So, and that's why I'm so glad Ryan Day has finally embraced bringing him around more. Because Ryan Day needs to be leeching off of that. He needs to be learning everything. Like, this is a guy who went 9-1 against that team. And I got a mentor who handed the whistle off to me, who's 7-0 against them at Ohio State, 7-1 all time, if you count the one at Florida that he lost in the bowl game. but that's neither here nor there. But as a head coach, you got to bring these guys in that have that experience. Even John Cooper, he can learn a lot from him on what not to do with that rivalry.
Yes, in the community. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the community. That was the other part of the line.
In the community, in the classroom.
But it's so funny because all I get told is that how for 2 decades all we did was pay players, and that's why we turned everything around. I'm like, man, if we were paying players like Alabama and stuff, don't you think we'd have a lot more natties?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm just saying.
All right, so tell us about the Buckeyes. Start off with the NFL. We had some bad news, and Nick Bosa got injured for the season, right?
Yes, he's out. He's done. His season's over. Nick Bosa, a guy that I thought could contend for Defensive Player of the Year, he's gone. Along with DeJuan Jones, he's also out for the year. The Cleveland Browns,
third year in a row.
Third year in a row with a season-ending injury. The Cleveland Browns are actually sending the play to the NFL because they thought it was dirty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's arguably dirty. It's pretty bad.
So tell us some positive news about the Buckeyes in the NFL, because it seems like if you're a Buckeye skill player in the NFL, you're scoring at will.
Absolutely. Well, my Cleveland Browns finally got a win, courtesy of Quinshon Judkins tying the game. His second NFL game, 18 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. He's now second.
The Packers.
He's now second leading rusher among all rookies, and that's in only 2 games. So he's clearly doing well.
He's so damn good.
Very good. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 5 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. He finally found the end zone, which is good. He's catching the ball like crazy. So Chris Olave, 10 catches, 57 yards. Hasn't found the end zone much, but I'm just glad to see him on the field.
He's got Spencer Rattler as a quarterback. I can forgive him.
Right. And, lastly, Garrett Wilson, 10 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown. So, and that's with a backup quarterback also. So,
because Fields is hurt.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Emeka's still doing his thing. Baker's
Absolutely.
loving him some Emeka Egbuka down there in Tampa. So,
are you forgiving Baker yet?
Me? No.
No.
No, sir.
No. I said to my buddy Tim Bailey, who's the biggest Oklahoma homer I've ever met in my life. I said to him, if Baker ends up winning Emeka Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'll forgive him a little bit. But it's always F him. It's always F him. I say the same thing to Charles Woodson. I say F him and F where he went to college, but I have unlimited amount of respect for him. Desmond Howard, though, he can kick rocks.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that sentiment. Absolutely.
No. And both play for my Packers. One won a Super Bowl MVP, and it's the one I don't like. What about high school, man?
Yeah, go get into that.
So I'm going to talk about my guy again, Brock Boyd. 6 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. He is now the South Lake all-time receiving yards leader in school history. So the guy's unbelievable. I think that Brian Hartline struck gold. Some people are doubting him, but he's going to be unbelievable. I think that he's going to be a really good player. Chris Henry Jr., 6 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Brady Edmonds, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns. And Quake Guilford, 6 catches, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Just an offensive surge for some of these guys. Obviously, wide receiver U is back at it again. So,
shocker. Big surprise. Yeah, that kid from South Lake, he looks good.
We might talk about Buckeyes at the high school ranks after we get back from pausing for station identification, but I got to share this with you real quick. Hey, if you want to see a little bit of Cody Croy, you want to see his articles, cfbackers.com. You can Google college football backers if you want, but this is our website. Get to it, college football backers. All right. Check out articles from across the nation. We're going to start with Cody's right here. right? It's clean. There's no advertisements coming up, so it's not going to pop up and you're not going to be able to read it. You can read this all the way through. We do a great job embedding something to you kind of support what we're saying here. So get in here, check it out, cfbackers.com. I mean, the black background's nice. You can search up here anything you want. If you want Ohio State articles, get in there and get you some. You can find everything. You can find mine that I just wrote. There's going to be a lot of Ohio State articles. Sometimes it ties in a little bit of other things like the top 25, obviously. So you'll see a lot of Cody's articles that he has from week to week. He's doing Buckeyes at the high school ranks and Buckeyes in the NFL. Cool stuff to see. There's more coming. Now we have our social media links. We're going to have message boards in the future. And then our podcasts are also going to be integrated pretty soon. Coming up, it's going to be built in. Get there, check it out, support us a little bit. Speaking of supporting us, like, share, subscribe, do us a favor so we can keep this going. All right. Yep. Cody, anything else from the high school ranks?
Corbin Fordham, 4 catches, 37 yards. He's a tight end, but defensively, he also added a sack. So, two-way guy. Simeon Caldwell, linebacker, 10 tackles. He was all over the field. CJ Santa, 6 tackles and an interception. And that really kind of wraps it up for the guys at the high school level. But some good play on both sides of the ball, in my opinion.
Oh,
Future's bright.
Dude, future is bright. And some of what the Buckeyes are doing, they're just getting the right guys. So a lot of people are concerned about where our recruiting is right now.
Right.
Just wait. Give it some time.
Right.
These guys, we had one bump from a 4-star to a 5-star. They're going to get their bump. All right. And
Absolutely.
if they don't, you're going to see that they're quality human beings that are awesome. I mean, K-Mark was a 4-star, right? And look at him now.
Yeah. And he should have been a 5.
Dude,
Boyd,
that's a 5-star player on the field for the Buckeyes.
I think Boyd is only a 3-star.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if,
you can't always go by rankings.
If Ohio State's going after them, they're 5-star personalities coming from a 5-star family, and they're going to play 5-star on the field for the most part.
Absolutely.
What a lot of people forget too, and I've said it before, is this recruiting class isn't as talented as other ones is from top to bottom.
Sure.
And Ohio State, like Steve just mentioned, we seem to avoid the guys who end up being headaches for other programs. Like, they're committed to us at first, they spurn us for another program, and they end up being headaches and problems and all this stuff for other programs. We dodge a lot of bullets. Like, things end up working out in the long run. Right. And I know people off of Natty were like, why aren't we the number 1 class? We just won a Natty. That rarely ever happens for anybody unless you're Alabama in the Nick Saban era.
Especially in the NIL era.
Yes.
Things have changed.
Yes. So you got to account for that. As long as we're getting top 5, top 10 classes every year, we're going to stay afloat because we have the coaching staff to do it. So
absolutely.
But yeah, I love to hear all the guys in high school killing it. Nick Bosa, I mean, God, him and his brother have the same luck as their dad and their uncle, who their uncle is an Ohio State legend. So it's just bad luck in that family when it comes to injuries, and
it's unfortunate.
I hope they both get healthy. I hope they both are able to dominate the rest of their NFL careers, have way longer careers than their dad and their uncle ever did. Because both of them were 1st-round picks, and both ended up being considered busts because they just got hurt and didn't play up to their standard. So sucks, but that's how it goes.
Have you heard anything about that Wilder guy, the edge, the defensive lineman from Gardena, California? I haven't heard much about what he's doing this year. I know, didn't he get bumped to a 5-star for Rivals?
I believe he just did recently.
Yeah, Kerry Wilder. Yeah.
As far as I know, he's having a pretty good season. Doesn't really show up on the stat sheet, but his impact goes beyond that.
Yeah.
It's just I can't write a whole lot about it because it's a lot of stats that I don't have access to, or you can't really write down. So, but yeah, he's having a good season.
Ryan
Probably
Bockelman
pressures the
in
QB
the
a lot.
house. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. Yeah, a QB pressures would be the best. I don't know where you find a lot of high school QB pressure stats.
You won't. Yeah, it's so basic for high
Right.
school.
Yeah,
You have sacks,
I mean,
you
if
have
you
tackles.
sacks or
Yep.
tackles for a loss,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're lucky.
and they
if
might
you
not
get
even
DFLs.
tackle for a loss.
they do
Some of those
on
bigger
Max Preps.
schools, though.
Oh, do they?
But on Max Preps, it's 50-50 on who actually keeps stats.
And
And
who
then,
reports it, and are
God.
the stats legitimate?
Yeah,
like
Max
offensive-
Preps is rough.
Offensive linemen, you're never going to find stats for them. No
For
way.
sure.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure Max Riley is having a great season, but I wouldn't know.
Yep. Only
That's
people
true.
who are around that
It's
area
got to be
would.
skill position.
Yeah.
If they're scoring points or making yards,
Yep.
you're going to be able to get to it. Interceptions, I guess you could probably get those. But
You can.
again, if you have a guy that's Ohio State level, are you throwing their way? No. Are you running towards Wilder? No.
Right.
You could try.
So that would be hard. Yeah.
Well,
Very good. Hey, mate, any score prediction? Or actually, who do you think is going to be offensive and defensive player of the game, Cody?
For offense player of the game, I'm going to go Sand.
Okay, good.
Old reliable. I
Yeah.
think they're gonna let him do what he wants to do in this game. We've heard so much about we're gonna be conservative
Unleash him.
with him. I think he's gonna air it out, in my opinion.
That's a little bit of my concern because I think Ryan Day he's kind of likes to take quarterbacks and new players along slowly and not put too much on them too early. And they said that with Texas afterwards. He was like, you know what? We probably could have thrown more at them.
Right. And I think you're
And they
going to see
didn't.
that.
I'm a little bit worried that they might not want to throw a bunch at him just because it's his first away game, kind of ease him into the situation. But I think we need to come out guns blazing through the air.
I agree.
Plus that one pick against Ohio probably has Day going, okay, well, and the red zone stuff.
Sure.
He just can't coach conservatively. He knows by now he has to coach
attack
to win
mode.
games.
Right.
So,
but I think that you're going to see a little bit of difference in how he coaches.
I hope
Defensively,
so. I hope you're right.
Defensively, I'm going to go Arvell Reese.
Yeah.
amen.
That's a popular pick, but hard not to. The guy is probably my favorite player on the defense. He's unbelievable.
Freak.
So talented.
Let's go around and pick a final score. Alex, you want to start?
I've wrestled around with it. Like I said, this is going to be the first team that scores double digits on us. It's pretty inevitable. And like I said, if they somehow don't, boy, we got an even better defense than I already think we do. I'm going to go somewhere along the lines of 38-24 Ohio State. I think we win by a couple scores.
Yeah. Cody?
Give me 35-10.
35-10.
I would love that.
I like that.
I'm a believer in Matt Patricia.
That would make me so happy.
I think that he's gonna bring the house.
That would make me so happy.
I think we're definitely gonna put up a lot of points. I'm gonna put it at 45 to I don't want to say this 17.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a nasty game. I honestly do, guys, because there's no way they stop us through there.
No.
Absolutely no way. If we play, I'll tell you what, if we come out passing the ball, that's my score. If we come out running the ball, it's going to be a lot closer than that.
Sure.
It's going to be like a 31-17 or 31-24 game. But
don't bring me a team up north game plan.
No.
Where we play against our strengths.
This is absolute. I'm telling you guys, we have to come out passing the ball.
Right.
I agree.
And we're going to just absolutely obliterate this team if we do. Yeah. Otherwise, anything can happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure.
I agree. I'd like to see us a little bit balanced offensively, or at least like 65-35 pass run, something like that.
Everyone talks about how you want to be balanced or how you want to win the rushing battle. Sometimes you win the rushing battle because it's opened up from the pass. And that's exactly what Ryan Day learned in the playoffs this year. After that Michigan game, and it's got to be in his head, right? I mean, it's still got to be in his head. What they learned from that game against Tennessee and then going into Oregon. They knew if they get their playmakers a ball in space, they can run all they want to.
Right.
You know, it's all about just bringing those DBs, getting in their heads and be like, you know what? We got to back off. All right. We got to take some steps back and not even look to the run because these guys are burning us deep.
Yep.
Eyes on the wide receivers the whole time. It opens up the run easily. It's just a different train of thought. Like everyone, you know, go back to the 70s and you're like, yeah, we're going to pound the ball, and then take a couple shots deep. Just reverse that. And sometimes that's what you need to do, especially with a team built like Ohio State. Built with the best wide receivers in college football. Some of them are already the best wide receivers in the NFL. You can see it now, right? Our wide receivers from last year, last 2-3 years are studs. These guys are the best of the best. Give them the damn ball.
Yep.
I want to see 12 to 15 targets a game for Jeremiah Smith, and I will be marking it down on Twitter every single time it happens, right?
Yep.
Get the man the ball. Let him do work. Build that Heisman campaign starting at Washington. If he goes off against Washington, you know, everyone's going to be watching this game.
Amen.
There's a possibility for an upset. And you can see it. You can see it in the spread, in the point spread. Those odds are showing you people think Washington has a chance. It keeps going down. It keeps going down. Well, Ohio State's got to shut them up real quick, and I think they will.
Absolutely.
I think they will too. I think they cover that spread. Like I said, when it was 14.5, I thought that's about right. I think we'll win by 14.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If we win by more than that, like your guys' score, I want your guy. I want Cody's score to come true, and if not, I want your score to come true. Like, bring it on. I would love that. That'd be great. But you know, hey,
we're gonna score 20, a lot of points.
Yeah, if they get 20 on us, I won't be surprised, but I'll also be like, crap. You know,
sure.
I would hope for better, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
They better not get 20 on this defense.
Yeah, like I said, I will start to be like, okay, you know, it's not exactly promising. So
I mean, if we're scoring in the 40s and they're scoring in the 20s, no one's going to get upset. But if we're only scoring in the 30s and they're scoring in the 20s, yeah, that's something to go home and work on.
Yeah. I did say Ohio would get in the 20s on us, but it would only be because of a garbage time touchdown. So if it happens that way, I'll be a little less upset about it.
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, if you're winning in a blowout and they get points in the last 5 minutes of the game,
yeah, I never count those, even though the scoreboard
doesn't count.
Yeah, it's whatever. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, boys, just a few more days, we'll be seeing it. Line up those guys. Quiet that crowd. I'm thinking I'll probably be tailgating before the game, so we'll see how that is. Get to see that for the first time.
You enjoy that atmosphere, man.
Dude, that atmosphere looks just absolutely amazing. I can't wait.
I
think Ryan Day is just as excited as I am to see the stadium, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's going to be his first time. Not his first time seeing Washington, because he was the OC in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, he was talking about that today, kind of reminiscing, you know, when Urban Meyer put that whistle over his neck against Washington.
Yep. So this is going to mean something to him. This one's going to mean a little something to him. It's going to give him flashbacks of the start of his journey.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
So, and we saw what he did. We saw what he did in that Rose Bowl as the OC. My goodness, it was looking ugly at first, and then all of a sudden everything just went. JSN, boy.
Whew. Think about that. That offense had to do that because that defense was just so awful.
Right.
I almost stopped watching.
Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden we started turning it on. I was like, oh boy. I'm like, we're about to lose to Utah big. Like, really? Oh. Urban wouldn't have, he would have been like, no, I can't retire on that. Nope. Can't do it. And everything would be different now.
Man.
Crazy.
Can't wait. I can't wait for this game. Can't wait to see what it's all like. All these guys in here. Hey, man, the hats are in now. Get in the locker room. The more you get in there, the more you get a chance to win one. Cody, I'll be sending you one. What color did you want, Cody?
Red.
And by the way, Minnesota at night in the shoe.
That's awesome.
The very next week.
That's awesome.
Like,
You going, Steve?
huh?
I'm thinking of going. You going?
Minnesota at night at the shoe. That's gonna hurt my pocketbook after this. I just upgraded my flight too on the way
I
home.
don't
had an
know.
8-hour layover. I had an 8-hour layover.
I gotta
in
see what
Chicago.
these tickets are. Hold
8
up.
hours.
Let me tell you what tickets are here. Give me one sec. Because it's probably a little more now since it's gonna be a night game, but
I just went whale watching today. Yeah, I'm probably out on any more games unless I'm getting credentialed for them.
Hey, I don't blame you. I get it. The cheapest ticket right now is in C deck for $139. That's without online fees and stuff. Doesn't surprise me.
I'll get up there and at least deliver your hat and pregame with you.
There we go. I might.
Where are you
go.
gonna go? You gonna go?
I'm thinking about it. Just because it's a night game, I'm thinking about it.
I
We'll
kind
see.
of almost turned into a press box snob. Don't know that I want to be in the general seating area at the shoe. We'll see.
Come on.
We'll see. You might be able to talk me into it.
You're around 100,000 of your closest friends while you're in there.
There's that. There's that. All right. You keep pressuring me, eventually twist my arm, threaten me with a good time. I'll be there.
Come on, man. It's worth it.
I gotta say, Ohio was really cool that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ohio was awesome.
Yeah, no, that's one of the
yeah,
best.
that was your first time in the shoe, man, and you got
Yeah.
you got the gold standard on the field treatment, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I always say if you like can't afford a game, go to a spring game. That's like a
Sure.
great atmosphere, great
Mhm.
first introduction. But if you can go to a game, get one of those guaranteed dubs because they're always cheap.
Right.
It's always going to be the same type of atmosphere, maybe not as loud as a Penn State coming into town, but
Texas.
But I will say, Cody, no matter what you do in life, get to a Team Up North game at least one time.
I will definitely try.
There is nothing like that.
I will definitely try.
Nothing. So your
Yeah,
life will
Doug,
change.
this stadium and the setting is I drove past the stadium today, saw it from the highway, and I was just like, man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Like the biggest thing the tailgating thing is so unique to college football that's one of the things that was like top on my list today. I got a text from a friend of mine from back home, and he was like, I'm thinking about renting a charter boat. Do you and your dad want to come? And I was like, yeah, we'll be there.
And by the way,
I'll probably be sailgating a little bit.
by the way, one of your articles on College Football Backers website mentioned the 22 game home win streak for Washington as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not used to losing at home. So Ohio State's going to have to get them reused to that.
Yeah, real quick.
Sure.
Real quick. Because the way that stadium is designed, it's designed to have those decibels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got the coverings over that keep the noise in.
Yeah. There's a reason the 12th man exists. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
Yeah,
and they're ready. They're ready to show out. It's gonna be a loud environment if they keep it close at all. At any time in the game, if it's close, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be rocking. So that's why I say
Julian.
Get them from the start, man.
Yep.
Right.
I want to see a couple deep balls on that first possession. I mean, even if you don't get it, at least you were like trying to put them away in the start.
Rose Bowl against Oregon, then. Score within the first minute of the game.
Yep.
Shut them up quick.
I'd be like that.
Early
I wouldn't
and
mind
often.
that. I wouldn't mind that if it's, if you take a tight end, get them on the flats, run your wide receivers deep and run that deep cross.
Yep.
With Max Clare. That would be a great first play.
I'd love it if it was 34-0 in the second quarter. That'd be great.
I'll take that.
Then I can nap the rest of the game. Just
not me, man. I'll be enjoying every minute of it.
Yeah. You get a little boozy in, feeling good. Keep the vibes high.
Washington has a 20-something possession scoring streak going. I think you're talking about the 22 game win streak at home.
Probably. No, he probably is right because against UC Davis, they scored about every time they had the ball.
20-something possession scoring streak. Oh yeah, because they scored
Yeah.
all 8 times, except for when they took a knee. No, there was one they took a knee at the end of the game against Washington State.
Yeah,
so they didn't score. And I guess you take that away. Like technically,
yeah,
it wasn't a score, but
yeah, in technicality, it's like it is what it is. But yeah, that with the teams they played, that makes sense.
Yeah, they should.
They should.
We didn't do it against Ohio, so I think Ohio's a better team than anyone they played, though.
They're gonna have to learn how to punt, and hopefully they suck at it so we can get good field position.
That's a good point. When is the last time they punted? Obviously, more than 20 possessions ago.
Yeah, less than us.
Wow, we might see a shank.
That would be great. I hope our punter learned how to punt in the last few weeks. I hope he's good.
Oh, he fumbles the snap.
Oh, God. I'll cry. If it's them doing it, I'll be happy. But
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
The punter doesn't have much experience, obviously.
That'd be great. Give it to me. Breathe life into me. Please and thank you.
All right, boys. Well, we'll be watching the game. Join us immediately after the game. I always do a podcast with the original backer, AJ. And then the morning after, 9:30 in the morning. Hey, I'll be waking up at 6:30 in the morning to bring the news to you, where we'll be talking about the game. Me and Seattle Matt in Seattle doing the show. Be there. But before we get out of here, I was watching Tom and Tony, and they were saying defensive backs for Washington are going to have a bad day. Yeah, they're terrible. They're 62nd in the nation in pass defense. They're absolutely going to have a bad day. We're going to pass all over them. Plus, their top guy is out.
Yep.
I believe Jeremiah Smith said number 7. I don't know who that is, but he's out.
Yep. So should be a field day.
They are tall and lanky. They have some height to them, so we're going to crush them. Peace out, brother. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend, and stay safe. Root on those Buckeyes, baby. OH.
I-O. Go Bucks, baby.
Go Bucks. Peace out.